note, I'll just follow it. So nothing really applied technically to the way I played, and I couldn't read music because, you know, the finger system is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mine was backwards, so I couldn't really do that. I couldn't make chords like right-handers or people that played left-handed. And sort of a misconception is that Hendrix played like I did, left-handed upside down, but he actually strung the guitar left-handed, which made it easy for him to be able to read, and I think that Hendrix could do that as well. Even though, you know, he played mostly with feel, he had a real knowledge of guitar and music theory and that kind of thing as well. Like when I hear people playing using scales, they know everything about scales. I'm not feeling it because it's all so analytical. You know, it's cerebral for them experience, which is cool. But I mean, you got to have like John Coltrane kind of, you know, if you have that kind of music theory and technique and all of that mixed with his like extreme passion, that's where you get the full force.
When you played with Roger Waters, you played with Snowy White as a second guitar player? How was that?
Actually, we had 3 guitar players in the Roger Waters tour. It was Andy Fairweather-Low, Snowy White, and myself. And we needed every one of us, all 3 guitar players, to pull off all the Pink Floyd and Roger records and the songs. It was almost like being in a play. And so you would step out, play the role you wanted to, and then you step back, and then somebody else would play their role, and it would keep changing. There was a lot to it, and you had to really be alert to not miss all your cues and that kind of thing. But, you know, Roger was great because he also told me that he wanted me to play like me, so I would just start with a melody and then do my own thing. And that's sort of what he liked about it, because he wasn't really trying to copy the Pink Floyd thing. He wanted to bring out everything he could get in those artists that were on stage. I started writing on a little 4-track in my room and realizing that I actually had this voice that I knew nothing about. I didn't know that I sang until I hit 17 years old, and then I started singing and writing these songs that weren't really that bluesy. My first gig singing was the drummer in my band said, you gotta sing. And I said, I can't. And he said, well, why not? And I said, well, there's no way I'd be able to do that in front of people. I can't be seen in front of people singing. That would be too embarrassing for me. And so he made it okay. He was like, no, you can do it. I have complete faith in you. You got to do it. You have an unbelievable voice. And I remember the first gig was this little club where we had to rig up this mic stand, and I had to put a towel sort of hiding the microphone, so you couldn't see my face. All you saw was sort of hair, the 80s hair, and a towel like this, and I sang behind that thing all night. And that was sort of my introduction into it. After the first gig, I sang, and people didn't boo me, so I figured, well, I could take the towel away now. And I've been singing ever since.
Your rig is really extensive on the ground. I wanted to know if you could explain some of it and what you're doing with it.
Well, let's see. I hardly ever look at this thing. When I got to rehearsals for the Eric Clapton gig, and Eric's not a very fussy guy when it comes to this stuff. He doesn't like pedals. He doesn't like a lot of that. He came over and looked at this mothership of a board, and after I think the second or third rehearsal, he says, I just want you to know that if you miss a pedal on a song, and you don't hit that button in time, or if there's anything that goes wrong with this pedal, I'm going to have it off stage. So that was sort of the first, the first time, and then it sort of all of a sudden when he said that got really much bigger than it was, and a lot more pedals. I mean, I sort of have my standard pedals that I've always used, which are Octavia, Fuzzface, the Wah-Wah, Univibe, and I've been using a Line 6 pedal as well for a delay. Other than that, those are the main ones I use. I'm sort of a tone freak. Tone, to me, matters more than technique much. I like to feel it more than anything. To walk into a recording studio, out of the blue, having B.B. King, Eric Clapton, people that I listened to growing up, playing my song, inviting me out to play with them, made me feel more validated than I've ever felt in this business, ever. Because it wasn't validating me for anything other than my artistry and me as a human being even, you know. They respected me.